Yeah. Hello, Sandy. What
Okay, we're
happened?
live, everyone.
We are live.
Yes, we are live.
Oh, we are live. Hello, everyone. Greetings from wherever you are watching us from. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Melisa. I'm coming in live from Mexico. Buenas tardes. It's actually afternoon right here. And I'm back again. As I'd promised you last week, I'll be coming in live. I'm still doing my 90 days success run challenge. And today I'm not alone. Today I have one of our amazing business partner who is going to join me today in our discussion. Today we'll be talking about time management. We are entrepreneurs, we work online. We'll be talking about how we are able to manage our time effectively. But before we start the topic of today, I would love to introduce our guest for today. Welcome, 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 Sandy.
Thank you, Melissa, for having me on your 90-day challenge. Um, yeah, so my name is Sandy. For those who doesn't know me, I'm originally from Panama. I reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I work in the movie industry, and I'm a digital business owner.
Thank you, Sandy, for accepting my invitation. I really appreciate. I know you have a busy schedule. You are a professional, and you still had to have some time aside for you to come and we have this discussion. So let me introduce myself a little bit. For those who don't know me, my name is Melisa. I'm originally from Kenya. I'm a full-time digital business owner. I work from home. And prior to being a digital business owner, I used to work in the hospitality industry, but then I moved to Mexico. So that is a little bit introduction of me. So today's topic is all about time management, as I had mentioned to you before. And before we start our topic today, I would like us to share on how we started working online. So, Sandy, tell us why. Why did you decide to work online?
Okay, thank you, Melissa, for the question. So yeah, I've been having, like since my middle 20s, I've been looking for something, like to do as a business, to have my own business and working from anywhere. But it wasn't until last year that
Yes.
I found something that really checked all the boxes for me.
Mhm.
And that was due because, we had a strike in the movie industry, like in the US. And, like we rely on the film industry from the US here in Vancouver. So because of that, like I had to look for a plan B. And
Mhm.
while I was looking, I found an ad, and that's how, like I ended up looking at this. And then I was looking for flexibility.
Mhm.
So because, like I have aging parents, and because of my work, like I usually work 12 hours per day.
Mhm.
For now, it's okay. But eventually, when my parents are going to start aging, I'm going to have to take care of them.
That's
And
true.
if I still working in the movie industry, that's going to be kind of hard to do. So I'm just thinking, like ahead of time. So I was looking for flexibility. And also, I love to travel. So one of the things that I do is love to travel. So I needed to have like a business that I can take with me anywhere. So I can do it from
Mhm.
anywhere.
Mhm.
So when I check into this business, I saw that I was able to do that. And then not only that, but also, like all the like we have some business travels that, like where we go and meet, like other members from around the globe in our community. Um, so those business trips are tax deductible. So I
Mhm.
love that fact, like you're able to travel and go to other places, and also, those expenses are tax deductible because they're part of your business trip. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things, like I really love to. Um The other thing that, like, I want to be able to spend more time with my parents, and be able to travel with them. So, and, visit my family. So those are one of the main things that, like, I made me, join the business. And also, I wanted to retire early. I don't want to work until I'm 67 and work those 12 hours.
Mhm.
And I wanted to have, like, be able to, like, I have income, like, if I wanted to retire, but because as you see, like, the inflation is going up, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't go with the salary, it doesn't keep up with the salary. So
Mhm.
that might not be enough if I wait until retirement, so I
Mhm.
wanted to be able to have income, like, and live the type of lifestyle that I like,
Mhm.
uh while, in my golden years in the future. So yeah.
I, I totally understand what you're talking about, and it's just amazing that we all have different whys why we started our business, but all of us we have the same goal, because all of us we are either looking for a way to be financially stable, have quality time to spend with our loved ones, and I can totally relate with that. My story is an interesting one because actually, when I came to Mexico, I was not looking actually for a business online. I was actually in a career crisis, if I may say that. And I was living in a small town in Mexico. I had just come from Kenya. My Spanish was not very well, and my prior experience is in hospitality industry. So living in a small town, there is nothing that I could see that I could do. So then I decided that I wanna look for something I can do. So then I thought that my strength is speaking English. I can speak a little bit of English, or rather, let me say good English, yeah. So, and majority of the people, they don't speak English, they speak Spanish. So then I decided to volunteer to teach English. So anyway, I don't have any prior experience of being a tutor or anything, but it was just a thought. And when I started, something that I really liked. But then while I was doing this tutoring, I was volunteering at the first time. Then they gave me the job, but what they were paying me was very, very minimal. I think it's because I didn't have any experience of being a teacher, and I was like, I need to look for another way I can plan for my future. So and that's how I ended up stumbling on a business opportunity. Actually, when I was on my computer, I was looking for a job that I could do online, but as they call it fate, then I found myself an opportunity to work on to have a business, like be a business owner, show up. And so I didn't hesitate. So I know most people are very skeptical, but I was not skeptical. Anyway, that does not mean that I did not do my due research on everything about the business. I did that. But then, anyway, I didn't kickstart the business at that moment because I was also planning to move again from Mexico, go to United States, start my life there again for some time. And actually, I only got to start this business last year when I was there, because when I was there, that's when life hit me so hard, because I realized, oh my God, life here is so different. Um, I need to work. Yeah, I need to work. Then at that moment, that's when I remembered, oh, I have that business advertisement that had stumbled on. Let me go and check it. So I went back and checked on that business. And as they say, the rest is history. It's been an amazing journey being here, working online. And actually, Sandy is not only a business partner, he's actually a friend. Remember, Sandy, we were doing the 90-day success run challenge last year. You
Yeah.
remember?
Yes.
So that's when we were actually sort of new in the business and learning a lot. And it's been an amazing, amazing, amazing journey working online and networking with other business partner. So let's go to the second part of the question. And as I mentioned before, that we'll be talking about time management. As you heard from Sandy, Sandy is a professional and she's also has a side hustle, which is, I don't like calling it like a side hustle, like another way of supplementing her income. So we are going to talk on how we are able to manage our time, her being a busy professional, and me working from home, having this business as my principal source of income. So we'll be talking on how we are able to manage our time effectively from our both sides. So without further ado, so Sandy, you can share with us how you are able to manage your time effectively as a busy professional and at the same time coming in and checking your business to make sure that you're balancing your time well.
Thank you, Melissa. Yes. So I usually work 12 hours. So because
Mhm,
like I work in the office side of the film production.
mhm,
So I'm usually constantly, like going from emails and all the different applications.
mhm,
Um, so in my between my times that I have, like that I that I have like a little time to do something, then I can go and check on my business.
mhm,
Um, but one of the things that like that you can manage your business, in terms of doing that is like, for example, like posting, you can do
yeah.
a scheduling. So
Mhm,
that really helps you, like to save some time because like you won't be able like I won't be able to do that like a job on my job, doing my scheduling for the post.
mhm,
So I
mhm,
will do that like beforehand. So that's how, like I save some time on that.
mhm,
And then in terms of like how I manage my time, well, I'm kind of like a mix of old style and new style. Okay.
mhm.
I love to write on my notebook, my to-do list.
Yeah.
So I usually I will like everything that I have to do on the day, like I will write it in numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6.
Mhm,
And then from there, like once I made my list of what I'm supposed to do, then I will go through each point and I will see which one is my priority to do first.
mhm, mhm,
And then I go with the number of prioritization. So I will put a number on the side, like, okay, I'm gonna do this first. So I go like 1, 2, 3, 4. So as I go through and completing my task, I will start crossing down my task.
mhm.
The other tool that I use for like on my business, like on my business and on my work, my phone is very important because like
Yeah.
even though like I'm in the office, sometimes I have to go see other department,
Mhm,
and then I'm checking constantly, my phone because like sometimes we get emails and we need something, so then I reply back, on my phone. um and then I also use my phone for scheduling,
mhm,
like in terms of like what I'm supposed to, like when I have a meeting, like just schedule like I have to do this, or when I'm supposed to send something, like in terms of my online business, like I usually schedule, like when I have, like I'm supposed to meet with someone, like I'm in tea, to train or something, or I'm supposed to be go to attend a workshop. So I
mhm,
will schedule that. So my calendar is another one that I will use a lot
mhm,
on my job and on my business.
mhm,
And then I will set it up like I'll set up for 1 hour reminder, 30
mhm,
minutes reminder, and then 10 minutes reminder.
mhm,
Just so that, like as we get closer, I know, okay, so I'm getting closer to that I need to do this. So then I start working a little bit faster on that.
mhm.
The other thing that is good, like I don't know if you heard about the Pomodoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
is good, like because when I was younger, I used to have a
Mhm.
lot of attention, but I don't know, for some reason, as I get older, my retention is not the same,
We have
So
a lot of things we are thinking of, right?
so then I try to do a little bit and then take. do something else and then come back, and continue, so that way, like I'm more focused on what I'm doing, um, so my attention is 100% there. uh let's see what else I use for that. Multitasking, yeah, that's one of the things that I learned on the movie industry, multitasking, because
Multitasking.
yeah, because like many times we have to do two, three things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think, okay, what I'm gonna do first,
Mm-hmm.
because like you gotta say, okay, I'm gonna do this first, and then I'll do that, and then as you go through your journey, like either the your job or the business, you always try to find ways to how you can accomplish things faster. How can
Mm-hmm.
you create a system that will work for you,
Mm-hmm.
to something that will take you, like for example, an hour, how can you make it, like less time? How
Mm-hmm.
can you, like, I'm always thinking in terms of my business, I'm always thinking, okay, how can I improve my business? What can I do now that I can utilize for the future
Mm-hmm.
that will save me time? Especially when you're starting to train mentees, right?
Yeah.
I'm starting to create, videos, so that way, I just send the video to them, and then, like, it will show them, step by step what they need to do, so.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I think it was last week, I went to a Spanish Zoom meeting, because
Mm-hmm.
we have a Spanish community in
Yeah.
our business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and one of the two of the girls from our community, that's the English speaking community, they
Mm-hmm.
shared something that I really love about, like having their, like they created like a group, and through that group, like they were able to save time by
Mm-hmm.
creating materials and videos within the group, that their mentees can go in there and have access to that. So,
Mm-hmm.
that way you don't have to spend too much time, on one-on-one. You can give an instruction like to everybody, and they can go live on the group, and also, teach everyone, at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something, like as you go, you start learning, how to save time, how to use your time effectively, because the other thing that I just want to point out is very important, that
Mm-hmm.
you allot time for everything, for your job,
Mm-hmm.
allot time for
Mm-hmm.
your business, allot time for your family,
Yeah.
because you don't want to neglect your family just because you're
Mm-hmm.
doing your business,
Mm-hmm.
you they also need your time, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time they also need to understand um, that you also need, when you're doing your business, they also need to understand that you need time for your business.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like a compromising, understanding there. um yeah, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I actually wanted to quickly say something regarding that, especially like for me now that I'm working from home, there can be a lot of, I will say good distraction. I don't want to say it's bad distraction, but at the end of the day, when you sit down as an entrepreneur, then it becomes a bad distraction. So, like, you really need to communicate with your family members, like, hey, this is the time I'm working. I need space, I need time, and I need actually to plan ahead and tell them on this particular time, I have a meeting. So you need to be aware of that, because I'm trying to create a quality time with family, because that's one of my goals of working home, to spend quality time with my family. But at the same time, I also want them to be aware I'm also working from home. So a balance needs to be created.
Mhm.
I'm not just at home. Yes, I want to spend time with you, but I also want you to be aware I'm also working from home, right? So I wanted to quickly jump in and add that to what you are talking about.
Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to point out is, like, we also need our me time, you
Mm-hmm.
know because if you get burned out, doing your job, doing your business, and
Yeah.
having time for your family, and then you don't
Mm-hmm.
have any time for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you will be able to do that until a certain point, until your
Mm-hmm.
body says, enough is enough, and then it will react. so you don't want to get to that point. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's very important to also, manage your time. So during the day, yes, you're allocating time for your job, you're allocating time for your family
Yeah.
and for your business, but also allocate some time for yourself because you need to
Mm-hmm.
recharge, and
Mm-hmm.
and you need to have that me time, that quiet time, that you can think, reflect, and get recharged so that you can continue be able to give to everyone and to to your business and to your family. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's very important, when it comes to managing time, because like we also need to have time for ourselves.
Yeah. I like the way you shared it because all of us we have 24 hours, all of us. It doesn't matter whether you are working, you have two jobs, or for instance you're working as a professional and you have another way of supplementing your income through this business. And for me, I'm working from home, but all of us we have 24 hours. And the question is, how are you going to manage your time? Because there's that assumption that we can have that the person who is working from home, they have a lot of time, so it's easier for them to run their business, which for me that is not true. And the person who is a professional, they have their own job, they don't have time for, because actually I see most people saying, I don't have time, I don't think, I'm very busy, I don't think I can do another source of, I can find another thing to do online. And actually working online is so flexible, because I can imagine having two jobs. Like, you need, in most cases you need to drive yourself to that place, to that location physically. Yeah.
Mhm.
But then if you have one job that physically you need to be there, and then the other one is you're working online. I mean, flexibility. And that's the beauty thing of this business that we are always talking about, flexibility. Like, you really don't need to look for another job. You can use your phone that time, because I'm very sure most of us, we easily get caught up, distracted on our phones, on our gadgets, scrolling through social media, wasting a lot of time. So, as a busy professional, that is the time you can use actually to focus on your job, on your business. And Sandy, actually, maybe a quick one. I know this was not a topic of today, but how many hours actually do you spend on your business now that you're a busy professional? How many hours on a day do you actually spend on your business? Although this one I know it varies. So, but how many hours, like, minimum, do you spend on your business?
Minimum, I would say 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Maximum, I will say between 6 or 8. Like on the weekend, I will work a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think this varies from person to person,
It
right?
varies,
Because
yeah.
the more time you spend on your business, right, the
Mhm.
more time you go faster.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I understand that some business owners, they don't have that much time, but they try to
Mm-hmm.
allocate time. Like for example, like there was the moms that have little kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they do their online business while their
Mm-hmm.
little kid is sleeping, or taking a nap during the day, or they go to school, stuff like that. Like that's their time for them to do the business. uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I do remember something that a person, one of the business owner mentioned, that she was saying, like you mentioned before, we have 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we always say like, oh, we don't have time to do this, we're busy and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you do? Like if you take a 24 hours and you start like, what do I do between this time and this time? You will see that
Exactly.
you do have time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, we don't, we waste time on doing other stuff, that
Mm-hmm.
is not relevant, like what I say, there is a name for that. There's like a income. I can't remember the name, but like something that you do that is productive, but it will make like a profit to yourself.
Uh-huh.
Wise, like I think it's income productive activity, something like that. I can't remember the exact word, but yeah. Um, so I think like it's very important, like that we allocate some time to our business, because we can do either 1 or 2 hours every day, and there's no excuse, like 1 hour and 2 hours is nothing, you have 24 hours, right? So 1 hour, 2 hours from the 24 hours, you still have 22 hours to do so.
Exactly.
Yeah. So um there's always time to do your business. And for me, like I try to do as much as I can. uh,
Mm-hmm.
but as you go like further and you start training people, like to because they want to be able to change their life too. That's some time that you need to allocate, and that's when I it comes to you gotta find ways to how can you do this better so you are able to help everyone, but at the same time doesn't take too much time of your time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have to like schedule your
Yeah.
time, because
Mm-hmm.
like um you have your personal things that you need to do. uh,
Mm-hmm.
you have your job, you have your family, and then
Mm-hmm.
you also have your business. And the business is not only like your business side, but also helping the other people uh,
Yeah.
that that you're trying to help. So
Because
yeah, go ahead. You
that's the idea. We've been in a situation that made us to jump into the online space, and that's the main reason why we also want to help other people, because we've been in their shoes. We know how it feels like to have burnouts, to have stress, and that's why we want to also help other people. And that's the beauty thing I love about this business. And just sharing a little bit for me, because now I work from home, and I know, as I had mentioned before, people will think that now that you're working from home, you have a lot of time to do a lot of things. Yeah. But as I mentioned before, and as you say, we all have 24 hours. It all depends on how you manage your time effectively to be productive. It doesn't matter if it's 30 minutes in a day because you're a professional, because that's 30 minutes that if it continues accumulating every day for 7 days in a week, that's a lot of time.
hmm
Then count that into weeks and months and in years, it's a lot of time. But I think the thing is that we always think that you need to have a lot of time, but I think it's the, how do I say it? It's the quality that you put in that time,
hmm
even if it's 30 minutes or 15 minutes. So, for instance, if you're a busy professional and you have your break for 15 minutes or 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour, if you can quickly have your lunch, rest a little bit, and maybe the other 30 minutes you spend it on your business. Can you imagine within a week or even months? That's a lot of productivity of accumulated hours that you can have. So it's not about you don't have time. It's how you are managing your time. And for me, working from home, it doesn't mean that I'm on my computer all the time from morning to evening. No, I'm not on my computer. And actually, as Sandy, you were sharing, like you have incorporated tools that you use to manage your time effectively, because as you know, as we continue to age, our concentration is not the same as we were young before. Yeah. Maybe in our early 20s, it's not the same. Yeah. And so incorporating tools like Pomodoro, the way you said, like you can concentrate for 25 minutes, take a break of 5 minutes. For me, while I'm working from home, and that tool really helps me so much, is that I'm able to take frequent breaks, 5 minutes, just getting out and soaking on the sunshine. That really helps me because when I come back, I'm able to focus again
Mhm.
very well for the next 25 minutes. But it's not like I'm on my computer every day because every time, actually in a day, I'm only able to focus on maximum if I'm really, really working and focusing on that. Anyway, we normally have meetings. So there are meetings we quickly also need to jump in. So in a day, it could be probably 5 hours in a day. 5 hours, and then of course the other hours I'm able to do other things, that involves taking care of the home, or even taking care of my mental health, exercise, and all that. But 5 hours is all the amount of time that I'm able to effectively focus on my business, and it still works. And so that's what I wanted to for us to share today. That time management is all about combining strategies, tools, and also creating habits. Good habits like setting clear goals, being disciplined, so that you're able to run your business effectively. Is there something else, Sandy, you would like to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, well, I wanted to add a little bit of the topic that we were talking about.
Mhm.
For example, like even when we do, like we are at home and we're like, for example, cooking or something like that, like we can even hear the mastermind, like
Mhm,
watch it. So
mhm.
it's not something that you have to be sitting down and just watching. I mean, you can put your laptop there, play the mastermind, and you start cooking and watching, at the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
So, for example, like at work, like I can listen to, for example, like things that, like it will make your work on your, for example, your mindset.
Mhm.
That's usually what I usually work on. I listen to when I'm at work, so I'm
Mhm.
working on my computer, but I'm listening on my earpods, like listening to those things that will keep your mind positive, and keep feeding. Because one of the things that is important in this business is keep get plugged in onto the business,
Oh, yes.
like always learn, take all the trainings that they have,
Mhm.
and work on those training, because that's how it's gonna make you better, do better on your business. The more you learn, the more you acquire those skills and abilities that help you with your business. So
Mhm.
you can acquire those abilities, during the day, doing your house chores, or being at work and listen to the on your computer. So yeah, so there's no excuse that you cannot adapt that to your daily routine,
Yeah. 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 That's true.
a lot.
So,
Yeah, a
yeah.
lot. The last thing that I wanted to add.
Mhm.
So yeah, so to you, I just wanted to encourage everyone, like to if you want to learn more about the business, they
Mhm.
can register in our websites um, that appear on the screen.
Yes.
So you can put your name and email address, and then we're gonna give you like an invitation to the free webinar that happens every
Mhm.
Tuesday and every Thursday live. Uh, and then if you're not able to watch the live replay, no worries. We can send you the replay. And if your English is not that strong, that's not a problem either, because the replay will have subtitles in any
Exactly.
language.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and then also we send you an invitation to our private Facebook group where you get to meet other people from our community who are having success.
Mhm. Yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. So thank you so much, Sandy, for this digital business chat that we had with you today. I'm so happy. Thank you for accepting my invitation. And I hope what we shared, you're going to learn at least, if not everything, at least you're going to pick one thing or two things that are going to help you. And in case you have any questions, as Sandy's mentioned, please don't hesitate to ask us questions. It all begins by asking questions and doing your all due research. And we'll be here to help you. Yeah. Thank you so much. And that's the end of our live today. We'll see you, God willing, next week. Bye. Adios.
Adios.